Ashley Davis walks down Fifth Avenue like she's done 1,000 times before. Brown leather bag over her shoulder. Navy blue blazer, clean white blouse underneath. Professional, put together. The kind of woman who pays her bills on time, answers emails promptly, says please and thank you to strangers. Her hair is different now. 3 months ago, she stopped straightening it, stopped burning it, stopped pretending it was something it wasn't. Now it grows out natural, thick and coiled, a crown she's still learning to wear without apology. The city moves fast around her, yellow cabs honking, tourists stopping mid-sidewalk for photos, delivery bikes weaving through pedestrians. Nobody really sees anybody here. That's what people say. Big city, busy lives. Everyone's got somewhere to be. But Ashley knows better. She's been black in America long enough to understand the difference between being unseen and being watched, between blending in and being monitored. There's a specific kind of attention that follows certain bodies through certain spaces, and it doesn't need a uniform or a badge to make itself known. The coffee shop she enters is one of those trendy spots. Exposed brick walls, Edison bulbs hanging from the ceiling, chalkboard menu with drinks that cost more than they should. She's been coming here for 2 years. Same order every time. Medium latte, oat milk, no sugar. The barista is new, young white girl, maybe 22, with a nose ring and dyed pink hair pulled back in a ponytail. She smiles when Ashley approaches, but it's the kind of smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes. Hi, welcome in. What can I get for you? Medium latte, oat milk, please. The girl nods, taps the screen, then her eyes drift up to Ashley's hair. The look lasts maybe 2 seconds, but it's enough. Ashley catches it, that little flicker of judgment, that silent assessment. Sure thing, the girl says, still typing. Then, casual as anything, you know, my roommate just went natural too. Said it's so much easier than dealing with all that maintenance. Ashley's hand is already reaching for her wallet, but something in her chest tightens. The tone was friendly. The smile was still there. But underneath there's something else. A kind of permission the girl gave herself to comment, to touch a subject that wasn't hers to touch. Ashley responds, non-committal. She pays with her card, takes the receipt. I think it's brave, the girl continues, oblivious or uncaring. I could never pull off something that bold, as if existing in her natural state requires courage, as if her hair is a statement instead of just hair. Ashley doesn't respond this time. She steps to the side to wait for her drink, pulling out her phone to avoid further conversation. Behind her, 2 women in yoga pants are ordering green smoothies. Ahead of her, a man in a suit is scrolling through emails. Nobody heard what just happened. Or maybe they did and it didn't register as anything worth noting. That's the thing about these moments. They're small, quick, over before you can even name them. A comment here, a look there. Nothing you can report to HR or call the police about. Nothing that would make headlines or trend on Twitter. Just these tiny cuts that add up over time, layering one on top of the other until you're not sure anymore if you're being sensitive or if the world really is this exhausting. The barista calls out her drink. Ashley takes it, thanks her quietly, and leaves. Outside, the street is just as loud, just as crowded. She walks 3 blocks before she realizes she's holding her cup tighter than necessary. Her jaw is clenched. There's a familiar heaviness settling in her shoulders, the kind that comes from swallowing words you wanted to say, but knew wouldn't change anything. She thinks about texting her sister, thinks about calling her best friend Tasha, who would understand immediately, who's felt this same thing in a dozen different coffee shops, hair salons, grocery stores, job interviews. But what would she even say? Someone made a weird comment about my hair. It sounds small when you say it out loud. It sounds like you're overreacting, but it didn't feel small. Ashley crosses the street and heads toward the subway. A woman walking the opposite direction does a double take as they pass each other. Ashley catches it in her peripheral vision. The quick glance up, the brief pause in the woman's stride. Then she's gone, swallowed by the crowd. You learn to notice these things. The extra beat of hesitation when someone sits next to you on the train. The way a store clerk follows you down the aisle just a little too closely. The surprise in someone's voice when you speak, and your grammar is flawless. The compliment that isn't really a compliment. You're so articulate. You don't sound black. I don't really see color. Ashley descends the subway stairs, her heels clicking against concrete. The platform is packed. Rush hour, bodies pressed close. She finds a spot near the edge, far enough from the tracks to feel safe, close enough to get on when the train arrives. A man stands beside her, white 50s, briefcase in hand. He glances at her once, then again. His eyes linger on her hair just a moment too long. Ashley pretends not to notice. She stares at the tracks, at the rats scurrying below, at the digital sign announcing the next train in 3 minutes. The man shifts his weight, clears his throat. "Excuse me," he says. Ashley looks at him. "Do you work around here?" he asks. It's a simple question. Innocent even, but Ashley hears the subtext. "What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you belong here?" "Yes," she says, voice flat. "I do." He nods, satisfied, and turns his attention back to his phone. The train arrives. Doors open. Ashley steps inside. She finds a seat near the back, sets her coffee on her lap, and closes her eyes. The train lurches forward, and she lets the motion rock her slightly. Around her, people are buried in their phones, lost in headphones, sleeping against windows. She opens her eyes and catches her reflection in the dark window across from her. Her hair frames her face in soft curls. It looks beautiful. She knows it does. But the city keeps telling her otherwise, keeps asking her to explain it, justify it, defend it, as if her body is public property, as if her choices need approval. The train stops. Doors open. People shuffle in and out. An older black woman sits down next to Ashley, gives her a small nod, a look of recognition, of knowing. Ashley nods back. She takes a sip of her coffee. It's lukewarm now. Still sweet, still familiar. And she thinks not for the first time. This is just Tuesday. Nothing dramatic, nothing you could put in a police report. Just the quiet, relentless weight of being seen and unseen at the same time. Of moving through a world that constantly reminds you, you are different, and different is difficult. Ashley pulls out her phone and opens her email. Work, meetings, deadlines, life goes on. But something shifts inside her, small and sharp. A question forming that she can't quite ignore. How long am I supposed to smile through this? The conference room on the 14th floor has floor-to-ceiling windows. Manhattan spreads out below like a promise. Glass towers catching sunlight. People the size of ants moving through streets. From up here, everything looks clean, organized, fair. Ashley sits at the long table, laptop open, notes prepared. She's been with the marketing firm for 3 years. Started as an associate, worked her way up. This meeting is important. A new campaign for a major client. Fashion brand, high budget. Her team spent weeks on the pitch. She's the only black woman in the room. This isn't new, she's used to it. Learned early how to navigate these spaces. How to speak just clearly enough. How to dress just professionally enough. How to take up just enough space to be respected, but not so much that she makes anyone uncomfortable. Her boss, David, sits at the head of the table. Mid-40s, Stanford MBA. The kind of man who says, "I don't see color," and believes it. Next to him, 3 colleagues, Jennifer, Mark, and Sam. All white, all competent, all nice enough. David starts the meeting. Goes over the agenda. The client wants something fresh, bold, authentic. That word gets thrown around a lot in these rooms. Authentic, like it's a flavor you can add to a campaign. Ashley waits for her turn. She's presenting the creative direction, the visuals, the messaging. She knows her work is strong. She stayed late 4 nights in a row making sure of it. "Ashley, you're up," David says, leaning back in his chair. She stands, clicks to the first slide, takes a breath. "Thank you, David. So what we're proposing is a campaign that centers real stories, not models pretending to be relatable. actual people. We want to highlight diversity in a way that feels genuine, not performative. She clicks to the next slide, images of women from different backgrounds, different body types, different skin tones, different hair textures. The tagline we're working with is "As you are." Simple, direct. It speaks to acceptance without being preachy. Jennifer nods, scribbling notes. Mark taps his pen against his notepad. Sam is looking at his phone under the table. Ashley continues. Talks about social media strategy, influencer partnerships, user-generated content. She's thorough, confident. She's done this before. When she finishes, she sits down, waits for feedback. David smiles. Great work, Ashley, really solid. Thanks, she says. Then Mark leans forward. Quick question. Ashley looks at him. Sure. Do you think we're maybe, I don't know, overdoing it with the diversity angle? The room gets quieter. Ashley blinks. What do you mean? Mark shrugs, casual. I mean, I'm all for inclusion and everything, but sometimes it feels like we're checking boxes instead of just, creating good content. Like, does every campaign need to be a statement? Jennifer shifts in her seat. Sam finally looks up from his phone. Ashley feels it. That familiar tightness. The one that starts in her chest and spreads outward. She's heard this before. Different words, same sentiment. Why does everything have to be about race? She keeps her voice even. I don't think showing different people is a statement. I think it's reality. The world is diverse. Our campaigns should reflect that. Mark nods, but his expression says he's not convinced. Sure. I just think sometimes we sacrifice creativity for optics. There it is. The word that dismisses everything she just presented. Optics. As if representing people who look like her is a marketing trick, a trend, a box to check. David clears his throat. I think what Mark is saying is we need to make sure the work stands on its own, that it's not just diversity for diversity's sake. Ashley's jaw tightens. She knows what's happening, knows that if she pushes back too hard, she'll be labeled difficult, defensive, emotional. So she does what she's learned to do. She swallows it. Of course, she says. The work speaks for itself. Diversity isn't separate from quality. It enhances it. David nods, satisfied. Exactly. Let's keep refining. Great job, everyone. The meeting moves on, other agenda items, budget discussions, timeline reviews. Ashley participates when needed, but her mind is elsewhere. She's thinking about Mark's face when he said overdoing it. The ease in his voice, the confidence. Like he'd just made a reasonable point instead of dismissing an entire approach rooted in years of exclusion. And nobody said anything. Jennifer didn't. Sam didn't. David nodded along like Mark had contributed something valuable. The air changed, but only Ashley felt it. When the meeting ends, everyone gathers their things. Ashley closes her laptop, slides it into her bag. Jennifer catches her on the way out. Hey, don't let Mark get to you, she says quietly. You know how he is. Ashley looks at her. Yeah, I know. Jennifer smiles, pats her arm, and walks away. It's meant to be comforting, but it's not. Because knowing how Mark is doesn't change anything. It just means everyone's accepted it, normalized it. He gets to say what he wants, and Ashley gets to absorb it. She heads back to her desk. The office is open concept. Rows of desks separated by low dividers, bright lighting, motivational posters on the walls. Innovate, collaborate, succeed. Her phone buzzes. A text from Tasha. How'd the pitch go? Ashley types back. Fine. She doesn't elaborate, doesn't have the energy to explain the slow erosion that happens in rooms like that, the way your ideas get questioned just a little more, the way your expertise gets second-guessed, the way you have to prove yourself over and over while others coast on assumption. Ashley opens her email. 12 new messages. She starts responding. Client follow-ups, internal memos, a calendar invite for another meeting next week. Across the room, Mark is laughing with Sam. Some joke, some story. Easy and light. He's not thinking about what he said, probably doesn't even remember it. But Ashley does. She'll carry it home tonight. It'll sit with her while she makes dinner, while she scrolls through Netflix trying to find something to watch, while she lies in bed staring at the ceiling. And tomorrow, she'll come back. Sit at this desk. Smile in these meetings. Prove herself again. Because that's the job. Not just the marketing. Not just the campaigns. The other job. The invisible one. The one where you navigate 1,000 small moments of dismissal and keep your face neutral. Keep your voice professional. Keep your anger private. Ashley clicks through her inbox. Responds to emails. Books conference rooms. Updates spreadsheets. Around her, the office hums with productivity. She glances at her reflection in her computer screen. Her hair is still there, still natural, still hers, and she thinks, they want me to shrink. Not with words, not explicitly, but in 100 small ways. In comments about being too focused on diversity. In surprised reactions when she speaks up. In the subtle shock on clients' faces when they meet her and realize she's the lead on their account. She's supposed to smile through it. Stay grateful, keep climbing. Ashley closes her eyes for a moment, takes a breath. When she opens them, she sees her calendar alert. Another pitch meeting in 2 days. She'll prepare, she'll present, she'll do excellent work, and someone will find a way to question it. Not because it's bad, because it's hers. The weight settles heavier now, not just from today, from all the days, all the rooms, all the moments where she had to choose between speaking up and keeping her job. Ashley saves her work. Closes her laptop. She thinks about her grandmother, about the stories she used to tell about working in white women's kitchens, about nodding and smiling while being called names she won't repeat, about surviving by staying quiet. And Ashley wonders, how much of that am I still doing? The office is bright, clean, modern. But the air in here? It's the same air her grandmother breathed, just in a different building. The elevator doors slide open on the lobby level. Ashley steps inside, presses the button for 14. The doors start to close. A hand shoots through. White manicured nails, wedding ring. The doors bounce back open. A woman enters. Designer handbag, tailored coat. The kind of polish that costs money to maintain. She glances at Ashley, looks away, presses the button for 12 even though it's already lit. Ashley moves to the corner, gives space. It's automatic now, this small retreat. This making herself smaller so others feel comfortable. The elevator rises. Silence except for the mechanical hum. At the 3rd floor, the woman shifts her purse. Pulls it closer to her body, just slightly, just enough. Ashley sees it. She always sees it. The clutching, the protective gesture. Like Ashley's presence is a threat. Like standing in a shared elevator requires extra caution. It happens so often she stopped counting. In grocery stores when she walks down the aisle. On the subway when she sits down. In parking lots when she's getting out of her car. White women clutching their purses. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. It's instinct, trained into them by 1,000 movies and news stories and warnings from their mothers. Be careful. Watch out. Those people. Ashley stares at the floor numbers lighting up. 4, 5, 6. The woman clears her throat, checks her phone, types something. Ashley's hands are in her pockets. She's wearing business attire. She's carrying a leather bag with her company logo on it. She's holding a coffee cup from a place that charges $7 for a latte. None of it matters. Her skin is enough. 7, 8, 9. The woman glances at the door, then at Ashley, then back at the door. There's a phrase for this. Ashley learned it in a diversity training seminar her company made everyone attend. Implicit bias, the unconscious associations people make, the snap judgments. The trainer, a white woman with a soft voice, had smiled sympathetically when she explained it. We all have biases. It's about being aware of them. Ashley had sat in the back of that conference room and thought, I don't get the luxury of unconscious bias. I'm too busy being the target of it. 10:11, the elevator slows. The woman edges toward the door before it even opens. 12. Ding. The doors slide apart. The woman steps out quickly, doesn't look back, doesn't say excuse me or have a nice day or any of the small pleasantries people exchange in shared spaces. Just gone. The doors close again. Ashley is alone now. 14 floors and she's been made to feel like a criminal twice. Once in the coffee shop with the comment about her hair. Once in this elevator with a clutched purse. It's not even 9 in the morning. The elevator reaches 14. Ashley steps out, walks through the glass doors into her office, swipes her badge. The receptionist, Maria, waves. "Morning, Ashley." "Morning." Ashley heads to her desk, sets down her coffee, logs into her computer. Around her, the office is waking up, people arriving, dropping bags on desks, chatting about weekend plans and Netflix shows and where to grab lunch. Normal. Easy. Light. Ashley checks her calendar. Back-to-back meetings, client calls, a presentation review at 2. She opens her email, scans through, responds to 3, flags 2 for later. Her phone buzzes. A text from her mother. "How's work, baby?" Ashley types, "Good, busy." She doesn't tell her mother about the elevator, or the coffee shop, or Mark's comment in the meeting yesterday. Her mother is 68, grew up in Alabama during segregation. Saw things Ashley can't imagine. Lived through things Ashley only reads about in history books. If Ashley told her, her mother would say, "That's just how it is. You keep your head up and keep moving." And she'd be right. But God, Ashley is tired of moving, tired of absorbing, tired of swallowing, tired of pretending these moments don't accumulate into something heavier. She takes a sip of her coffee. It's cold now. She drinks it anyway. Across the room, Jennifer is laughing at something on her screen. Mark is on a phone call, gesturing with his free hand. Sam walks by with a breakfast sandwich, headphones in. They move through the world differently. Nobody clutches their purse when Mark gets on an elevator. Nobody questions Jennifer's qualifications in meetings. Nobody tells Sam his hair is bold or brave. They just exist, unexamined, unmarked. Ashley pulls up the presentation she's working on, adjusts a slide, changes the font, tweaks the color scheme. Her hands move across the keyboard automatically. Muscle memory. She's good at this work. Always has been. But lately, she's been wondering, what's the point? She can create the most brilliant campaign in the world, and someone like Mark will still question whether it's too focused on diversity. She can dress perfectly, speak perfectly, perform perfectly, and a stranger in an elevator will still see her as a threat. There's no winning, only surviving, only enduring. Ashley saves her work, closes the file, opens another. Her phone buzzes again. This time it's Tasha. "Drinks after work? I need to vent." Ashley smiles slightly, types back, "Same, where?" "That place on 9th, 6 p.m. "See you there." Ashley sets her phone down, goes back to her email. The office hums around her. Productive, professional, polite, and beneath it all, this quiet, constant weight. The weight of being watched, being judged, being reduced to a single characteristic no matter what else you bring to the room. Ashley thinks about the woman in the elevator. Wonders what she's doing now. Probably at her desk. Probably doesn't remember the encounter at all. Probably didn't even register it as significant. Just another elevator ride, but for Ashley, it sits. Joins the collection. Another small cut added to the pile. She glances at her reflection in her dark computer screen before it fully loads. Her hair, her face, her skin. All the things she can't change. All the things that make her a target for judgment she didn't ask for and doesn't deserve. Ashley straightens her shoulders, clicks open her task list. 16 items, all due by end of week. She gets to work. Because what else is there to do? The world keeps spinning. The elevator keeps rising. The purses keep getting clutched. And Ashley keeps showing up, keeps proving, keeps smiling, keeps swallowing. Until one day, maybe, something breaks. But not today. Today, she works. Saturday afternoon. Ashley needs a new blouse for a client presentation next week. Something professional but not boring. She heads to Bloomingdale's. The store is crowded. Weekend shoppers browsing racks, couples holding hands, mothers with strollers, the smell of expensive perfume hanging in the air. Ashley takes the escalator to the second floor. Women's professional wear. She's been shopping here for years, knows the layout, knows the brands. She walks through the aisles, fingers trailing over fabrics, silk, cotton, linen blends. She pulls a navy blouse from the rack, holds it up, checks the price tag. A security guard appears at the end of the aisle. Ashley notices but doesn't react. Keeps browsing, moves to the next rack. The guard moves too, casual, slow, pretending to survey the floor. But Ashley knows. She's been followed in stores since she was 16. Learned early that shopping while black comes with supervision. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's obvious. Today, it's somewhere in between. She picks up a cream-colored blouse, examines the stitching, puts it back, moves to another section. The guard follows, not right behind her, but close enough, visible enough. Ashley's jaw tightens. She tells herself to ignore it, to just find what she needs and leave. She's not doing anything wrong. She's a paying customer. She has a credit card with a high limit and money in her account. None of that matters. A white woman nearby is browsing the same section, shopping bags already in her hands from other stores. The guard doesn't look at her, doesn't track her movements, just Ashley's. She picks up a black blouse, looks at the size. Extra small, too small. She puts it back, reaches for a medium. "Can I help you find something?" Ashley turns. A saleswoman, blonde, bright smile. Name tag says Brittany. "I'm fine, thanks," Ashley says. "Are you looking for anything specific?" "Just browsing." Brittany nods but doesn't leave. Stands there, watching. Ashley moves to the next rack. Brittany follows. "We have some really great pieces on sale in the back," Brittany says. "If you want, I can show you." Translation: the cheaper section, where you probably belong. "I'm good," Ashley says, voice flat. She finds a dark green blouse, her size, nice cut. She drapes it over her arm, keeps looking. Brittany is still there, still hovering. Ashley picks up a white silk blouse. Expensive, beautiful. She checks the tag. $240. Brittany steps closer. "That's a gorgeous piece. It's from our premium collection." Ashley looks at her. "I can see that." "It's a bit of an investment," Brittany adds, voice sweet but pointed. There it is. The assumption, the implication. "Can you afford this?" Ashley holds the blouse, meets Brittany's eyes. "I'll take it." Brittany blinks. "Oh, great. Would you like to try it on first?" "No, I know my size." Ashley walks toward the register. Brittany follows. The security guard watches from a distance. At the counter, another saleswoman checks her out, scans the tags. Ashley pulls out her credit card. American Express. Gold. The woman processes the payment, bags the blouses, hands Ashley the receipt. "Have a nice day," she says. Ashley takes her bag and leaves. Outside the store, she exhales. Didn't realize she'd been holding tension in her shoulders. She shifts the shopping bag to her other hand and heads toward the exit. The whole interaction took maybe 20 minutes. 20 minutes of being watched, followed, questioned, for buying clothes. Ashley walks through the mall, passes other stores, sees other shoppers moving freely. No one trailing them. No one asking if they need help finding the sale section. She thinks about Brittany's face when she said she'd take the $200 blouse. The surprise. The quick recovery. Can you afford this? Ashley makes 6 figures, has a master's degree, works for a top firm, pays her taxes, has good credit, but none of that shows on her skin, so she gets followed, gets questioned, gets treated like a potential thief until she proves otherwise, and even then there's doubt. She reaches the parking garage, finds her car, unlocks it, tosses the shopping bag in the passenger seat, sits there for a moment, engine off, just breathing. Her phone buzzes. A notification. Instagram. Someone tagged her in a post. She ignores it. She thinks about her grandmother again, about the stories, about having to enter white stores through the back door, about not being allowed to try on clothes before buying them, about being called names and having to smile and say, "Yes, ma'am." Things have changed, but not enough. The doors are open now, but the welcome is conditional. You can shop here, you can work here, you can exist here. As long as you prove you belong, over and over, every single time. Ashley starts the car, pulls out of the parking space. On the drive home, she passes billboard after billboard, diversity campaigns, brands celebrating inclusion, smiling black faces selling everything from cars to coffee. But in the actual stores, in the actual workplaces, still followed, still questioned, still watched. She stops at a red light. A family crosses the street in front of her. White parents, 2 kids, laughing about something. They move through the world so differently. Don't have to think about how they're perceived. Don't have to monitor their tone. Don't have to prove they're not a threat. They just are. The light turns green. Ashley drives. By the time she gets home, the anger has settled into something heavier, something familiar. Exhaustion. She parks, grabs her shopping bag, heads upstairs to her apartment. Inside, she hangs the blouses in her closet, looks at them. They're beautiful, well-made, worth the price. But wearing them to work won't change anything. She'll still get comments, still get followed, still get questioned. Because the problem isn't her clothes or her hair or her credentials. The problem is the world she's moving through. A world that sees her blackness first, everything else second. Ashley sits on her bed, looks at her phone. Tasha texted, "Still on for drinks?" Ashley replies, "Yeah, definitely." She needs it, needs to sit with someone who understands, who doesn't need explanations, who's lived this too. She changes out of her shopping clothes, puts on jeans and a sweater, looks at herself in the mirror. Her hair is still there, still natural, still hers. And tomorrow she'll wake up and do it all again. Go to work, smile in meetings, swallow comments. Avoid conflict. Keep proving she belongs in spaces that keep telling her she doesn't. Ashley grabs her keys, heads out to meet Tasha. Because sometimes survival looks like drinks with a friend who gets it. And right now, that's enough. The bar on 9th Avenue is dim and comfortable. Exposed brick, low lighting, jazz playing soft in the background, the kind of place where you can actually have a conversation without shouting. Ashley arrives first, finds a corner booth, orders a glass of wine. She's been sitting for maybe 5 minutes when Tasha walks in. Tall, dark skin, locks pulled back in a bun, leather jacket. Tasha moves through the world with a confidence Ashley envies sometimes. They hug. Tasha slides into the booth across from her. "Girl," Tasha says, already shaking her head. "I need this drink." "That bad?" "Worse." The server comes over. Tasha orders a vodka soda. They wait until she leaves before continuing. "What happened?" Ashley asks. Tasha leans back, sighs. "You know that promotion I applied for? The senior analyst position?" "Yeah." "They gave it to Rebecca." Ashley's face tightens. "Rebecca? The one who started 6 months after you?" "Yep." "Are you serious?" Tasha nods. Picks up the menu even though she's not looking at it. Just needs something to do with her hands. "They said she demonstrated leadership potential," Tasha says, making air quotes. "Meanwhile, I've been running half the projects in that department for 2 years. Ashley knows this story. Different names, different companies, same ending." The server brings Tasha's drink. She takes a long sip. "Did they give you a reason?" Ashley asks. "Oh, they gave me reasons. Said I need to work on my communication style. Said I can be too direct sometimes." "Too direct." Which is code for you make white people uncomfortable when you speak your mind. Ashley nods. She's heard that one before too. The feedback that isn't really about your work. It's about how you make people feel, about tone, about being palatable. "I'm sorry, Tosh." "Yeah, me too." Tasha takes another drink. "You know what the messed up part is? I'm not even surprised. I knew they weren't going to give it to me. I applied anyway because what else am I supposed to do? Not try. You should have gotten it. Of course I should have, but that's not how this works. You know it, I know it. Tasha sets down her glass, looks at Ashley. Okay, your turn. What's been happening with you? Ashley tells her. About the coffee shop, about Mark in the meeting, about the elevator, about being followed in Bloomingdale's. Tasha listens, doesn't interrupt, just nods in all the right places. The nods of recognition, of shared experience. When Ashley finishes, Tasha says, "Every damn day." "Every damn day," Ashley echoes. They sit in silence for a moment. The jazz plays. Other patrons laugh at nearby tables. The world continues around them, oblivious. "You ever think about leaving?" Tasha asks. "Leaving what, the job?" "The whole thing. The corporate world, the code switching, the smiling through microaggressions. All of it." Ashley considers. "Sometimes, but then what? It's like this everywhere." "I know, but sometimes I fantasize about just, I don't know, starting my own thing, being my own boss, not having to explain why diversity matters to people who've never had to think about it. You'd still have to deal with clients." "True." Tasha smiles slightly. "But at least I could fire them." They both laugh. It's tired laughter. The kind that's half humor, half resignation. Ashley takes a sip of her wine. "My grandmother used to tell me stories about working in white folks' houses, cooking their food, cleaning their messes, being called out of her name and having to smile anyway. My grandma too. And I used to think, thank God I don't have to deal with that. Thank God things have changed. But they haven't," Tasha finishes. "Not really, we just wear different uniforms now." Ashley nods. "We're in the building, we're at the table, but we're still having to prove we belong there, still having to be twice as good to get half as much. And God forbid you bring up race," Tasha adds. "Then you're playing the race card. Then you're too sensitive. Or you're making it about something it's not, even when it obviously is." They've had this conversation before, in different bars, different coffee shops, different parks. The setting changes, the content doesn't, because this is what it means to be black in America, to move through spaces that weren't designed for you, to navigate systems that see you as other, to succeed despite constant resistance, and then be told you're imagining it. Ashley looks around the bar, mostly white crowd, a few other black folks scattered throughout. Everyone drinking, talking, relaxing. For them, it's just Saturday night. For Ashley and Tasha, it's a brief pause in the ongoing labor of existing while black. "I'm tired," Ashley says quietly. Tasha reaches across the table, squeezes her hand. "I know. Like bone-tired, soul-tired. I know. And the worst part is, I can't even explain it to people who don't get it. They think I'm being dramatic, think I'm looking for problems. Because they don't see it," Tasha says. "They don't have to, that's the privilege. Not seeing is a choice for them. For us, it's impossible." Ashley finishes her wine, signals for another. "You know what I keep thinking about?" she says. "That woman in the elevator. The way she clutched her purse, she probably doesn't even remember doing it. Probably got off on her floor and went about her day. But I'm still thinking about it, still carrying it. That's the tax," Tasha says. "The black tax. We pay it every day. In elevators and stores and conference rooms, in comments and looks and assumptions. And we're supposed to just keep going, keep smiling, keep being professional. How much longer can we do this?" Tasha leans back, thinks. "As long as we have to, I guess, until something breaks, until we break. Or until the world finally changes." "You think it will change?" "Honestly, don't know anymore. Some days I think we're moving forward. Other days it feels like we're just running in place." The server brings Ashley's second glass of wine. They sit together. Two black women in a dimly lit bar. Both educated, both employed, both exhausted. Outside, the city moves. Cars passing, people walking, life happening. And inside, they share this moment of understanding, of not having to explain, of being seen and heard without translation. "We should do this more often," Ashley says. "We should, but you know how it is, work, life, the constant hustle just to stay afloat." Yeah. They finish their drinks. Talk about lighter things, a show they're both watching, a restaurant they want to try, plans that feel normal and easy. But underneath, the weight remains. The weight of living in a world that sees you as less, that questions your presence, that makes you prove your worth over and over. Eventually, they pay the bill, hug goodbye, promise to text soon. Ashley walks to the subway. The platform is nearly empty. Late Saturday night. She stands waiting for the train, thinks about Monday, about going back to work, about sitting in meetings and smiling through comments and doing excellent work that will be questioned anyway. The train arrives. She gets on, finds a seat. Her reflection stares back at her in the dark window. And she thinks, tomorrow I'll rest, Monday I'll fight again. Because that's what it is, a fight. Just to exist, just to be respected, just to be seen as human. The train rocks. Ashley closes her eyes, holds on to this moment, this brief breath between battles, knowing full well that come Monday morning, it all starts again. Monday morning. Ashley sits in the waiting room of a medical office. Annual checkup. Routine appointment she's been putting off for months. The room is sterile, white walls, magazine rack with outdated issues, a fake plant in the corner, elevator music playing softly from hidden speakers. She's not alone. An older white woman sits across from her, gray hair, reading glasses, flipping through a magazine without really looking at it. A younger white couple sits near the window, holding hands, whispering to each other. And a middle-aged white man sits 2 seats down from Ashley, suit and tie, checking his watch every few minutes. Ashley scrolls through her phone, work emails already piling up even though it's barely 8:30. She responds to one, flags another. The receptionist calls a name, the couple stands, disappears through the door. Now it's just Ashley, the older woman, and the man. Ashley shifts in her seat, crosses her legs, goes back to her phone. The man glances at her, once, twice. She feels it but doesn't acknowledge it, keeps scrolling. He clears his throat, looks at the receptionist window, back at Ashley, then he stands, walks over to the receptionist. Ashley can't hear what he's saying. His voice is low, but she sees the receptionist's face. The polite smile, the nod. The man returns to his seat, sits 1 chair farther from Ashley than before. The air changed. Ashley knows. She always knows. The older woman looks up from her magazine, glances at Ashley, at the man. Back to her magazine. 5 minutes pass. The receptionist calls another name. The older woman stands, leaves. Now it's just Ashley and the man. The silence is heavy. Ashley puts her phone in her bag, looks at the wall, at the fake plant, at anything except him. But she feels his discomfort. It radiates across the small space. He shifts, uncrosses his legs, crosses them again. She wonders what he said to the receptionist, wonders if he asked about his appointment time, wonders if he complained about the wait, or if he said something else, something about feeling uncomfortable, about the other person in the waiting room. Ashley's heard stories from Tasha, from her mother, from other black women who've sat in waiting rooms and felt this same tension, the unspoken accusation, the assumption of danger, the discomfort that has nothing to do with her actions and everything to do with her presence. She's sitting quietly, dressed professionally, not bothering anyone. But somehow she's still a problem. The man stands again, walks to the water cooler, fills a small paper cup, drinks it, throws the cup away, sits back down. Anything to avoid sitting still in a room with her. Ashley checks her phone. 9 minutes until her appointment. She can wait 9 minutes, she's waited longer. Waited in stores while security followed her. Waited in meetings while people questioned her ideas. Waited in elevators while women clutched their purses. Waited in lines while cashiers called for managers to verify her checks. Waited her whole life for the benefit of the doubt that comes automatically to others. The door opens. A nurse appears. Ashley Davis? Ashley stands, gathers her bag. As she walks past the man, she catches his expression. Relief. Pure relief that she's leaving. She follows the nurse down the hallway, into an examination room. "The doctor will be with you shortly," the nurse says, closing the door. Ashley sits on the paper-covered examination table. It crinkles beneath her. She looks at the posters on the wall. Anatomy charts, nutrition guidelines, a flyer about flu shots. Everything clinical, professional, neutral. But the waiting room wasn't neutral. It never is. Ashley thinks about the man, about what he must have thought when he saw her. What story he told himself to justify his discomfort. What assumptions he made based on nothing but her skin. She's a marketing executive, has a graduate degree, pays taxes, volunteers at a food bank on weekends, calls her mother every Sunday. Has never been arrested, never been in a fight. None of that shows. All he saw was a black woman, and that was enough to make him uncomfortable. There's a knock on the door. The doctor enters. White, male, 50s, white coat, clipboard. "Good morning, Ashley. How are we doing today?" "Fine," she says. He sits on the rolling stool, flips through her chart. "Blood pressure looks good from your last visit. Any concerns, any changes in your health?" "No, everything's normal." He nods, asks routine questions. Family history, medications, allergies. Ashley answers, clear, concise. He listens, takes notes. "All right," he says. "Let's get your vitals." The nurse comes in, takes her blood pressure, temperature, weight, everything normal, everything fine. The doctor examines her, checks her heart, her lungs, her reflexes. "Everything looks good," he says. "You're healthy. Keep doing what you're doing." "Thank you." He stands, shakes her hand, leaves. Ashley gets dressed, gathers her things. At the receptionist desk, she schedules next year's appointment, pays her copay. As she walks out, she passes the waiting room. The man is still there, sitting alone now, still checking his watch. He doesn't look at her. She pushes through the glass doors, steps into the morning. The city is awake now. People rushing to work, traffic building, horns honking. Ashley walks to the subway, descends the stairs. On the platform, she stands among dozens of other commuters, all waiting, all separate, all together. A train arrives. Doors open. People push in. Ashley finds a spot near the pole, holds on as the train lurches forward. She thinks about the waiting room, about the man's relief when she left, about how exhausting it is to be perceived as a threat when you're just trying to exist. Her phone buzzes, a work email, something about the presentation she's giving on Wednesday. Ashley swipes it away. She'll deal with it at the office. Right now, she just wants to breathe. The train stops. People exit. New people enter. At her stop, Ashley gets off, climbs the stairs, emerges onto the street. The office building is 3 blocks away. She walks, past coffee shops and newsstands and people talking on phones. She's just another body in the crowd. But she's not. She's marked, watched, judged. Even when she's doing nothing wrong, especially when she's doing nothing wrong. Because the suspicion isn't about her actions. It's about her existence. Ashley reaches her building, swipes her badge, takes the elevator. 14 floors up, the doors open. She steps into the office. "Morning, Ashley," Maria says from the reception desk. "Morning." Ashley walks to her desk, sets down her bag, logs in. Around her, the workday begins, emails, meetings, deadlines, normal. Routine. But underneath that weight remains. The weight of being suspect, of being unwelcome, of being tolerated but not embraced. Ashley opens her laptop, gets to work. Because what else can she do? The world keeps spinning. The suspicion keeps following, and she keeps showing up, keeps proving, keeps enduring. One waiting room at a time, lunchtime. Ashley steps out of the office building, needs air, needs a break from the fluorescent lights and the recycled air and the inbox that never empties. She walks toward the park 2 blocks away. There's a food truck she likes. Halal cart. Good lamb over rice. The day is warm. Spring finally settling into the city. People are out. Jackets off, sunglasses on. The whole city seems lighter when the weather turns. Ashley joins the line at the cart, 4 people ahead of her. She checks her phone while she waits. A text from her mother. "Don't forget your cousin's birthday is this weekend." Ashley types back, "Got it, already ordered a gift." The line moves, she's second now. Behind her, 2 men are talking, young, early 20s, loud enough that she can hear them without trying. "Yo, you see that girl from the club last night?" "Which one?" "The one with the fat ass, light skin." "Oh yeah, she was bad." Ashley keeps her eyes on her phone. Not her business. Not her problem. The conversation continues. "I love light skins, bro. They just hit different." "Facts. I don't really mess with dark skins like that." Ashley's jaw tightens. "Nah, for real though." "And if she got natural hair? Hell nah, that's a deal breaker." His friend laughs. "You wild." "I'm serious. I need my girl to look presentable. You know what I'm saying? Keep that hair straight, keep it laid." Ashley's turn. She orders lamb over rice, hot sauce, white sauce. The vendor nods. Starts preparing her food. Behind her, the conversation keeps going. "Dark-skinned girls be doing too much with that natural hair. Like, just relax it. Make it easier." "You sound ignorant as hell." "I'm just being real. Nobody trying to run their fingers through a Brillo pad." Laughter. Ashley's hands curl into fists. She knows she should walk away. Knows engaging won't change anything. But something inside her snaps. She turns around. "Excuse me," she says. Both men look at her, surprised, like they forgot other people could hear them. "You got something to say?" one of them asks. The taller one. Baggy jeans, fitted cap. "Yeah, I do." "You're standing 2 feet away from me talking about black women's hair like we're not people. Like we're just objects you get to approve or reject based on how we look." The shorter one shifts, uncomfortable. "We weren't talking to you." "You were talking loud enough for everyone to hear you, so yeah, you were." The tall one smirks. "What, you offended? You probably got natural hair too, huh?" "I do, and I don't need your approval for it." "Good, 'cause you ain't getting it." His friend laughs nervously. Ashley stares at him. "You realize you're perpetuating the same colorism and texturism that's been used to oppress black people for centuries? You're doing the work of white supremacy for free." The tall one's smirk fades. "Hold up. Don't come at me with that pro-black lecture. I date black women." "You date light-skinned black women with straight hair. That's not the same thing." "Man, whatever. You sensitive as hell. And you're ignorant. People are watching now." The vendor hands Ashley her food. She takes it but doesn't leave. The tall one steps closer. Not threatening, but posturing. "You need to mind your business," he says. "You made it my business when you started broadcasting your opinions in public." "Yo, you really doing this right now?" His friend tugs at his arm. "Let's just go." But the tall one isn't done. "What, you want me to say your nappy hair is beautiful? Is that what you need? Validation from a stranger?" The word lands like a slap. Nappy. The slur dressed up as description. The insult so normalized that people don't even register it as one anymore. Ashley feels heat rising in her chest, but she keeps her voice steady. "I don't need anything from you. But maybe you should ask yourself why you hate your own people so much that you talk about black women like we're beneath you." "I don't hate nobody. I just got preferences." "Your preferences are rooted in self-hatred. That's the point." The shorter one pulls harder now. "Come on, man. This ain't worth it." The tall one stares at Ashley for a long moment. Then he sucks his teeth. "You one of them angry black feminists, huh? If being a feminist means I don't accept your bullshit, then yeah, I am." He shakes his head, laughs. "Good luck with that attitude." They walk away, still talking, still laughing. Ashley stands there holding her food. Her hands are shaking. Around her, the park returns to normal. People go back to their conversations, their phones, their lunches like nothing happened. But something did happen. Ashley just called out colorism in the middle of the day, confronted 2 black men who were perpetuating the same degradation that's been inflicted on black women for generations. And they dismissed her, called her angry, sensitive, told her to mind her business. She finds a bench, sits down, opens her food, tries to eat, but her appetite is gone. She thinks about what that man said. Nappy. The way he said it, like it was fact. Like her hair was inherently less than. Like she was inherently less than. And he was black. That's the part that hurts most. Not the white woman in the elevator or the saleswoman in the store, but this. Black men echoing the same anti-blackness that's been used to destroy them too. Ashley picks at her rice, eats a few bites, throws the rest away. She walks back toward the office, slower now, thinking about how the fight isn't just external, it's internal too. Within the community, within families, within dating preferences and beauty standards and what's considered acceptable, light skin over dark skin, straight hair over natural hair, European features over African features, all of it rooted in the same poison, the same lie that blackness is inferior, and black people enforce it on each other, sometimes more harshly than anyone else. Ashley reaches her building, takes the elevator. Back at her desk, she tries to focus, opens files, responds to emails. But that word echoes. Nappy, used as an insult, as a weapon, by someone who looks like her. She thinks about her students, the young black girls she mentors through a nonprofit program. Thinks about what they hear every day, from boys, from men from their own families. Your hair is too nappy, too wild, too much. And they internalize it, start to believe it, start to think their natural state is wrong. Ashley closes her eyes, takes a breath, opens them. She pulls up a document, starts typing, not work, something else. A blog post about colorism, about texturism, about the ways black people police each other's bodies. She writes for 20 minutes, doesn't edit, just pours it out. When she finishes, she saves it, doesn't publish yet. Wants to sit with it first, but it feels good. Saying the thing, naming the thing, even if no one listens, even if people call her angry or sensitive or too much. She's tired of being silent, tired of swallowing, tired of letting these moments pass unchallenged. Ashley returns to her work emails, but something shifted today. A line drawn, a boundary set. She stood up, spoke out, refused to let ignorance go unchecked. And maybe that man will think about what she said. Maybe he won't, but she said it. And that matters. The afternoon stretches ahead. Meetings, calls, presentations. Ashley works through it all, carrying that word, that moment, adding it to the collection, another cut, another weight. But also something else, a small spark of resistance. Growing. Wednesday afternoon. Conference room on the 18th floor, different building, different client, same performance. Ashley sits at the table with her team. David is there. Jennifer, Mark, and two people from the client side, Robert Chen, CFO, sharp suit, calm demeanor, and Karen Mitchell, VP of Marketing, blonde, mid-40s. The kind of confidence that comes from never being questioned. They're pitching a rebrand, 6 weeks of work, research, strategy, creative concepts. Ashley led most of it. David does the opening, sets the stage, introduces the team. And this is Ashley Davis, our creative lead. She's been heading up the strategic direction for this project. Karen looks at Ashley, smiles. Nice to meet you. You too, Ashley says. Robert nods, opens his notebook. David clicks to the first slide. Talks about brand positioning, market analysis, competitive landscape. Then he turns it over to Ashley. She stands, moves to the front of the room, clicks to her section. What we've identified is a gap between how your brand is perceived and who your actual customers are, she begins. Your current messaging skews older, more traditional, but your customer base is shifting younger, more diverse, more digitally native. She clicks through slides, data, charts, customer personas. So our recommendation is to modernize the visual identity while maintaining brand equity. Think evolution, not revolution. Karen is nodding, taking notes. Robert is watching the screen. Ashley continues, presents 3 creative directions, each with mock-ups, each with rationale. This first option leans contemporary. Clean lines, bold typography, minimal color palette. Click. This second option is warmer, more approachable, softer edges, earthier tones. Click. And this third option pushes the most. It's vibrant, energetic, aimed at capturing that younger demographic while still feeling premium. She finishes. Sits down. Karen looks at Robert, back at the slides. "These are interesting," she says. Her tone is measured, polite, but there's something underneath. "We're particularly excited about option 3, David adds. "We think it really captures the direction your brand needs to move." Karen tilts her head. "Can I ask a question?" "Of course," David says. But Karen is looking at Ashley. "Did you do the research for this yourself?" Ashley blinks. "Yes, along with our research team. I oversaw the entire process. And the creative concepts, these mock-ups, I art directed them. Worked with our design team to bring the vision to life." Karen nods slowly. It's very different from what we discussed in our initial meetings. We wanted to push beyond the initial brief," Ashley explains. "Based on the research, we felt there was an opportunity to be bolder." "I see." Karen clicks her pen. "Robert, what do you think?" Robert shrugs. "I think they're solid. I like option 2 best. Feels most aligned with our current brand." Karen looks back at the slides. "I'm just wondering, David, did you review all of this before today?" David shifts. "Absolutely. Ashley and I have been in constant communication throughout the process." "And you approved this direction?" "I did. We all did as a team." Karen's smile doesn't quite reach her eyes. "It's just not what I expected. When we hired your firm, we were told we'd be working with senior leadership. No offense to Ashley, but I'm not sure this is the level of strategic thinking we were hoping for." The room goes silent. Ashley's chest tightens. Jennifer looks down at her notes. Mark clears his throat. David's face flushes. "I can assure you," David says carefully, "Ashley is one of our most experienced strategists. She has a master's degree in marketing and has led campaigns for some of our biggest clients." "I'm sure she's very capable," Karen says. "But this feels junior, like someone trying to make a statement rather than solving a business problem." Ashley speaks, keeps her voice steady. "Can I ask what specifically feels junior to you?" Karen looks at her. "The third option. It's too bold, too risky. It doesn't feel like something a seasoned strategist would recommend for a heritage brand." "With respect," Ashley says, "the data shows your brand is aging out. If you don't modernize, you'll lose relevance with the next generation of consumers. Option 3 isn't risky. It's necessary. That's your opinion. It's based on 6 weeks of research, focus groups, competitive analysis, customer surveys." Karen sets down her pen. "I appreciate the work you've put in, but I think we need to see other options. Something more refined." Refined, the word hangs there. Code 4, something from someone who looks like me. David jumps in. "We can absolutely explore other directions. Jennifer, Mark, why don't you two pull together some additional concepts and we can schedule a follow-up?" Jennifer nods, Mark nods. Ashley says nothing. The meeting wraps up, handshakes, polite goodbyes, "See you next week." As the clients leave, Ashley gathers her laptop. "Her notes." David pulls her aside. "Hey, don't take that personally. Karen's just very particular. She questioned my qualifications in front of the client," Ashley says quietly. "I know, and I backed you up. After she'd already planted the seed." David sighs. "Look, sometimes clients have preferences. It's not about you. It's just the dynamics of the relationship." Ashley stares at him. "She didn't question Jennifer's work, or Mark's. Just mine." "That's not..." David stops, rubs his face. "Let's just regroup tomorrow, okay? We'll figure out next steps." He walks away. Ashley stands there, in the empty conference room. 18 floors above the city. She thinks about every word Karen said, every implication. Junior, not strategic, making a statement. All ways of saying, "You don't know what you're doing. You don't belong here." And David let it happen. Defended her only after the damage was done. Ashley packs her bag, leaves the conference room. In the elevator down, she's alone. Watches the numbers descend. Thinks about the work she put in. The late nights. The research. The strategy. All dismissed in 30 seconds by a woman who made up her mind before Ashley even started talking. She reaches the lobby, steps out into the afternoon. The city is loud, busy, indifferent. Ashley walks to the subway, descends into the station. On the platform, she pulls out her phone, opens her text thread with Tasha. Types, "Client meeting was a disaster." Tasha replies immediately. "What happened?" "Got questioned. Undermined. Basically told my work wasn't good enough. By the client? Yeah, white woman. Decided I wasn't senior enough before I even finished presenting. I'm sorry, Ash, that's bullshit." "I know." And David just let it happen. Of course he did. The train arrives. Ashley gets on, finds a seat. She stares out the window at the darkness of the tunnel rushing past. Thinks about Karen's face. The dismissiveness. The certainty. And she realizes it didn't matter how good the work was. Didn't matter how thorough the research was. Didn't matter that she'd done everything right. Karen saw a black woman and decided that wasn't enough. Decided she couldn't possibly be as smart, as strategic, as capable as the white colleagues sitting next to her. The assumption was instant, automatic, unexamined. Ashley closes her eyes. She's so tired of proving herself, so tired of being doubted, so tired of watching mediocre white colleagues get trusted immediately while she has to earn credibility over and over. The train stops. People get off. People get on. Ashley stays seated, rides to her stop. When she gets home, she drops her bag by the door, changes into sweats, pours a glass of wine, sits on her couch, stares at the wall. Her phone buzzes, an email from David. "Let's connect first thing tomorrow to discuss revisions." Ashley doesn't respond. She takes a sip of wine, then another, and she thinks, how much longer? How much longer can she do this? Accept this? Smile through this? She doesn't have an answer, just the weight growing heavier. Every meeting, every comment, every dismissal, adding up, building, pressing down, until something has to break. Ashley finishes her wine. Tomorrow, she'll go back. She'll smile. She'll revise the work. She'll prove herself again. Because that's what she does. But tonight, she lets herself feel it, the anger, the exhaustion, the injustice. All of it, real and heavy and hers. Friday morning. Ashley wakes up and can't get out of bed. Not because she's sick, not because she's injured. Because she's done. The alarm goes off. She hits snooze. It goes off again. She turns it off completely. Stares at the ceiling. Watches the morning light creep across the white paint. Her phone buzzes. Work email, meeting reminder, Slack notification. She doesn't look. For the first time in 3 years, Ashley Davis doesn't care. Something broke last night. Somewhere between the third glass of wine and finally falling asleep. Between replaying Karen's words and remembering every other moment like it. The accumulation finally reached critical mass. She can't do it anymore. Can't smile through one more microaggression. Can't prove herself one more time. Can't shrink herself to make others comfortable. Can't keep paying the black tax just to exist in spaces that were never designed for her. Ashley sits up, looks around her apartment. The degrees on the wall, the professional wardrobe in the closet, the carefully curated life of a successful black woman in corporate America. All of it suddenly feels like a costume, a performance, a mask she's been wearing so long she forgot what her real face looks like. She picks up her phone, opens her email, scrolls through the unread messages. David wants to meet about revisions. Mark needs feedback on a deck. Jennifer is asking about lunch plans. Ashley closes the app, opens her text thread with her mother instead. Types, "I think I need to quit my job." 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Then, "What happened, baby?" Ashley doesn't know how to explain it. How do you sum up 1,000 small cuts? How do you articulate the exhaustion of constantly being underestimated, questioned, dismissed? She types, "I'm just tired, Mama. Come home this weekend. Let's talk." Okay. Ashley sets the phone down, gets up, makes coffee, stands by the window with her mug, watches the city wake up below, all those people moving through their days, going to jobs, building careers, living lives. She wonders how many of them are wearing masks too. How many are performing? How many are one comment away from breaking? Her phone rings, David. She lets it go to voicemail. It rings again. She declines the call. A text comes through. "Where are you? We have the client revision meeting in an hour." Ashley stares at the message. She could go, could shower and dress and show up and smile and present revised work that will probably get questioned again. Could keep doing what she's always done. Endure, persist, overcome. But something in her chest says, no. Not today. Maybe not ever again. Ashley texts back, "I'm taking a personal day." David responds immediately, "We need you for this meeting. Can you come in just for this?" "No. Ashley, this is important. So is my mental health." She puts the phone on silent, sets it face down on the counter, finishes her coffee, takes a shower, gets dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, not work clothes, not Ashley the marketing executive clothes, just clothes. She grabs her keys, leaves her apartment. Outside, the morning is bright, clear, the kind of day that feels like possibility. Ashley walks, no destination, just movement. Past her usual subway stop, past the coffee shop, past the route she takes every single morning. She ends up at the park, the one with the lake, the one she never has time to visit because she's always rushing to work or rushing home from work. Finds a bench, sits, watches ducks glide across the water, watches joggers pass, watches an old man feeding pigeons. Her phone is buzzing in her pocket. She ignores it. For the first time in years, Ashley just breathes, feels the sun on her face, feels the air in her lungs, feels herself exist outside of productivity, outside of performance, outside of proving. She thinks about her grandmother, about the stories of survival, of endurance. But she thinks about something else too. Something her grandmother said once near the end. "Baby, surviving ain't the same as living." Ashley didn't understand it then. She was young, ambitious, believed that success meant making it in their world on their terms. But now she gets it. She's been surviving, enduring, pushing through, but she hasn't been living. She's been too busy managing other people's comfort, too busy shrinking herself, too busy being the right kind of black woman, the one who doesn't make waves, doesn't complain, doesn't take up too much space. A jogger passes, white woman, ponytail, expensive running shoes. She smiles at Ashley. Ashley smiles back. Just a normal exchange, just two people in a park. But it reminds Ashley she's been waiting her whole life for these moments to feel normal, for her presence to stop being questioned, for her humanity to stop being debated. And she realizes it's never going to happen, not in that office, not in that elevator, not in that waiting room or that store or that street corner. The world isn't going to change fast enough, not for her, maybe not in her lifetime. So she has to change instead, has to decide what she's willing to tolerate, what she's willing to accept, what she's willing to keep carrying. Ashley pulls out her phone, opens her notes app, starts writing. Not a work document, not a presentation, a list. Things she's done to make others comfortable. Straightened her hair for years, softened her voice in meetings, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, accepted compliments that were insults, stayed silent when she wanted to scream, made herself smaller so others could be bigger. She reads the list, adds more. Then she starts a new one. Things she's going to stop doing. Apologizing for existing. Explaining her humanity. Performing professionalism that means erasure. Accepting dismissal as normal. Carrying shame that isn't hers. Waiting for permission to be whole. Ashley stares at the words. Something loosens in her chest, something that's been clenched for years. She doesn't know what happens next. Doesn't know if she'll quit or stay. Doesn't know how she'll pay rent or what her career will look like or if she's making a huge mistake. But for the first time in a long time, she knows one thing for certain. She's done shrinking. Ashley stands, stretches, starts walking back toward home. The city moves around her, traffic, noise, life happening. But she moves different now. Head up, shoulders back, taking up space, not performing, not proving, just being. And maybe that's the revolution. Not the big dramatic moment, not the viral video or the protest sign. Just a black woman deciding she's done making herself smaller for a world that refuses to see her fully anyway. Ashley reaches her apartment, climbs the stairs, opens the door. Her phone is full of missed calls, messages, emails. She'll deal with them later. Right now, she sits at her desk, opens her laptop, not to work on a presentation, not to revise a campaign, to write, to tell this story, her story. About what it costs to exist while black, what it costs to be professional while female, while natural, while other. The title comes to her immediately. Where respect left the room. And she begins. Some wounds don't make noise, but they leave marks. And here, we don't let silence erase what was lived. Ashley of the Natural.